Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am your host, Nick Majorovsky, and welcome to episode number 6 of the GTA Show. So, as you can tell, we have a new intro here going on, guys. We're going to get straight into the chase, or cut straight into the chase. I know I got a lot of complaints about, taking a little bit too long to get into the video, 2 minutes or so, and, we're not that far in now, so we're going to get straight into things, and I'm going to tell you that this episode is about money balance and how I think it should work. I'm going to be going over the starting cash, post-storyline cash of all the characters, and then I'm going to be going over the costs of a lot of things on the game. So basically, we're discussing how money will be balanced through Grand Theft Auto 5. So, let's begin. We're going to start with starting cash, and we have Michael first, who I think will start the game off with $100,000. I think Franklin will start off with $50,000, simply because he just isn't as high-end as Michael. Trevor, I think, will only begin with $2,000, simply because he is Trevor. And then we have the GTA Online character, who I think will only start with $5,000. Okay, and now we have post-storyline cash. So basically, by this, I mean what's going to be, how much money you'll have after the storyline is over. I'm going to go with $10 million for Michael, basically because I think he could easily sell his apartment, maybe, towards the end. Obviously, you're going to be getting a lot of heists, and, hopefully the game is balanced out. Now, if the game is unbalanced with money, you will end up with $50 million, which I think would be a little bit unrealistic. Even $20 million would be pretty unrealistic. So hopefully, if it's realistic, you'll end up with, around the $10 million mark. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Hopefully, it's realistic enough that you don't get too much. Because put it this way, a private jet itself, I think, should be worth $1 million to $5 million. So, maybe you could earn a little bit more than $10 million. We'll just have to wait and see. Franklin, I've gone to end up with $2 million, simply because he just isn't as big as Michael. Although the fact that he, deals with drugs, deals with cars and that sort of thing, maybe he might make a little bit extra than I think, but I certainly don't think he'll be able to get as much as Michael. Trevor, I've gone for $250,000, so that's a pretty big step up from $2,000 to $250,000. Simply because I think he will eventually earn some from heists, but he'll like to spend it and that sort of thing. And obviously, I'm going to try and make the game as realistic as possible when I play it, and I'm going to try and use money wisely and properly, but also make sure I have enough in the bank. So that is it for the storyline, starting and post-storyline cash. Now it's time to get into activity costs. So how much will a game of tennis cost? I think it will only cost $30. A game of golf, probably $40. Base jumping, probably $70 to go for a jump. Obviously, it depends on how they do it. To compete in a triathlon, I've gone for $30, and a yoga session should cost $25. Again, these are really, they could up them into the hundreds. I doubt it, because that would be a bit unrealistic. I don't think it's going to cost that much. Even some of them, like a game of tennis, in my local town, going to have an hour's hit of tennis would probably only cost like, $10, $15. So really, I guess you just have to up it a little bit to make the game a bit more realistic. Then we got customization costs. So tattoos will vary, I think, between $30 and $100, obviously with the best tattoo being $100. Clothes will vary from $50 to $2,000. Yes, I think the one being $2,000 probably be a very expensive suit. Or I guess if you're using online female, maybe a dress, but I doubt you'll be able to run around in a dress. But yeah, so an expensive suit being $2,000. Car customization will vary from $50 to $5,000, obviously perhaps nitros, if included, being up to $5,000. And haircuts will vary between $10 and $100, obviously with the more stylish haircut being $100. And now we move on to apartment costs. So this depends on how they will work. So I'm going to be going through the star apartments as if they are just one fixed price to buy for good. So this is how they will work out if that is the case. So a 1-star apartment being $3,000, a 2-star apartment being between about $7,000 to $10,000, a 3-star apartment being $20,000, a 4-star apartment being $45,000, a 5-star apartment being $100,000. And then we've got apartment costs if the apartments work like real life, so where you rent it for night. So if I go to America, which I am next year, obviously you're going to pay, $200, $300, whatever it is per night. I'm working up for 7 nights. So this is how much I think that will cost if you're going by night. 1-star apartment, $100 per night. A 2-star apartment, $250 per night. 3-star apartment, I'm going for $400 per night. 4-star apartment, $600 per night. 5-star apartment, about $850 per night. And then you got the presidential suite apartment, which will be around $1,500 per night. Again, you just want to make sure money is balanced, because we're going to be earning a lot. Hopefully we can spend it, by buying things like this. Now, I honestly hope the apartments are going to be like the real life thing, where you have to rent rooms, but I highly doubt it. I have a feeling it will be just, buy the apartment for good. And yeah, I think that's just how they're going to do it, unfortunately. But I guess it's something at least. Then we move on to houses themselves. We've got low end. So by low end, I mean, like the Compton area, basically where Franklin lives. Sort of, the Grove Street kind of graffitied area. We're going to go for a range between $80,000 and $100,000. Of course, houses are expensive. They're not going to be anything under 80 normally. You've got a medium-end houses, which are probably East Los Santos and West Los Santos. They range between $100,000 and $300,000. Then you've got your special medium-end. So this is medium-end, but special medium-end. So on the water, sort of around Del Piero, the pier. There's obviously Santa Monica in Los Angeles. And Vespucci Beach, which is obviously Venice Beach. They're the nice oceanfront sort of houses. And they will range between $300,000 and $500,000. Probably could have made those a little bit more. Then we've got the high end, which is downtown, which should range between $500,000 and $700,000. And then you've got the special high end, which again is high end but special, which is the Vinewood Hills mansions and the famous homes, which should range between $700,000 and $3 million. So obviously, if you want a mansion, hopefully that will be a pretty hefty price, and you'd like to think a mansion will be a little bit more than a jet. So I'm going for that. Then we got business costs, which I reckon they may not be as much, but they should be interesting, how you invest in the stock market. So we've got tattoos, hair, clothing shops, which I reckon will range between $2,000 and $3,000 to buy, of course, and you can sell it. 24/7 stores, liquor stores, and other convenience stores should be around $3,000 to $5,000 to buy, and then, of course, selling again. A marina, basically on the water where you have boats and stuff stored, I reckon will be $10,000 to $20,000 to buy. And then I think, I didn't write this one down, but I believe hangars, maybe for aeroplanes and that sort of thing. Or maybe you can even buy the airport, which would probably be the most expensive thing. I'd probably put that, pretty high up. But let's just say it's just a hangar. You put between maybe $20,000 to $30,000. And then you got downtown business centers like the lawyers' offices, FIB, IAA, basically the big buildings in downtown Los Santos, which I think will range between $40,000 and $100,000 to buy. And again, you can sell them perhaps afterwards. Now, I know I probably have missed a few things here and there, but I do apologize. I just wanted to see how money would balance out and how I think money will balance out. Make sure you guys let me know in the comments below what you think. How do you think money will work? Do you think things might be a bit overpriced, underpriced? I just hope things aren't too cheap. I hope things are a bit expensive because I don't want people to have like $1 million and, I want you to be able to spend it on something. So money needs to be a big factor. And obviously that's what Rockstar are striving for. And hopefully that is something we can all look forward to. And, that is one thing that I think will make the game much more realistic. Basically balance. And I nearly forgot, even the underwater area, obviously you can probably go find money, treasure or something under there that sells. So there is a lot of ways to earn money, but hopefully there's ways to spend it as well. Well, obviously we know there are ways, but hopefully it's, expensive enough that it will take up a big chunk of our money. One thing I just remembered I didn't add was things like private jets, certain vehicles, and so cars, basically, you want, say, your best car, you probably want to be, cost up to $500,000, maybe even a bit more. A private jet, maybe the best jet to cost up to $5 million, I should say. That would be pretty good. We saw the $1 million jet on the, I think it was the online trailer, cost about $1 million, so hopefully they're a bit expensive, which would be good. And obviously, you got the high-end houses, which are up to $3 million, the Vinewood Hills mansions and that sort of thing. So there is, I'm sure, going to be lots of ways to spend your money on Grand Theft Auto 5, and I know it will keep us busy for a long, long time. So that is it for me, guys. I hope you guys liked the new kind of format that I've put into the video. I've gone with a little bit of a transition in between a few lines, and I have gone with the intro starting off the show, basically. And we're going to end it the same way as we always do. I'm going to ask you guys to follow me on Twitter if you haven't already, at The Real GTA Show. Make sure you smash that subscribe button if you want more from me. And, well, if you want my videos to be right on your subscription feed. So thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the like button if you did, and I will catch you guys for episode number 7. Peace.